Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Frank and Angela Show with Frangela.
I forgot.
How you doing today, babe?
Are you not wearing pants again?
Babe.
I know. I just think it's really funny that you don't wear pants sometimes. And then when people log on to, like, when, for instance, when we were in Fort Lauderdale and your butt was reflecting in the glass behind us.
Well, there is.
So I just want to.
I do have my chonies on.
You do have chonies on. Okay, because you scared me with this.
Plus, all the newscasters don't wear pants or anything like that.
If
I got
were
an
a
appointment right
newscaster-
after this, and I don't feel like putting my slacks on yet.
If I were a newscaster, I totally wouldn't wear pants because sometimes they're there a lot. Like if something is happening, like right now, like they're all at work talking about the bridge that collapsed in Florida. They've probably been at work overnight trying to get names and stuff of the victims. So I would totally not wear pants. If I was a news anchor, I would totally have no pants on and big fluffy house shoes.
Yes.
That's how
I would be rocking around in my robe most of the time. My big
You're gonna go all what is the Hugh Hefner on them?
Yeah, he wears like the silky cool robes. I want just the big, fluffy, cozy robe like you see me in half the time.
But the bad news is that if you had that at your job and you didn't have any real clothes and you're just gonna wear your robe, you'd be in trouble because I always steal your robes.
True, and I'd be wearing.
So you'd be in trouble. You'd have nothing to wear.
Babe, now's not the time to be on Facebook.
I'm not. I'm trying to put myself. I'm trying to put us on my.
Multitasker does not work. You guys have seen those studies. Everyone says multitasking that you can do it. You can't do it because while you can give your attention or something like that to a couple different things, you cannot focus or be 100% on any one thing. So you end up half-assing everything you're involved in. So pick one thing, focus on it. Do it till it's done.
And then it comes off rude. I felt so bad when we were in Beverly Hills that day at the $19 million listing, and I was talking to this guy, like the gold diggers husband.
Yeah, that's funny.
She's really a gold digger. Like her family is.
No, so we're talking this couple, and they seem like they're really sweet. She was super sweet, and then this other lady comes over. And we were talking like, oh, you do know them or something. She's like, oh yeah, I know her. She's a gold digger. And we're like, and she just starts going on, and we're like, oh shit, wow. We thought she was super sweet, so it's like, wow. And she goes, no, really, she's a gold digger. Her family owns a gold digging family and wherever they're from.
That was funny because I was like, I thought that was her best friend. That's so rude. That was funny. But anyway, so her husband, I was talking to her husband, and then she was talking to like you and Jenna, I think, and I was hearing Jenna tell her I'm a grandmother, and that like totally pulled my ear over there. So I'm talking to him, and then I was kidding. I turned over and I was like, she's lying. Don't listen to her because she called me a grandmother in front of everybody. But anyway, so then he's like, oh, multitask much? And I felt so bad because he was like, I'm telling you my whole life story and you're totally listening to that conversation. So I felt so bad. I was like, oh, well, I have toddlers. It comes with the territory. I can like divide my attention all the time. But I felt so bad. So I learned that day when you're talking to someone, even if you do hear something else going on in the background, then don't like turn your attention to it because it's so rude. And I felt so small. I was like, no, I totally heard. And I repeated to him what he said. He's like, oh no. But yeah, I felt bad. But anyway, hi Veronica. Thank you. She said we're hilarious.
We are funny.
So anyway, I'm wearing my Mother Trucker hat today. Mother Trucker, because that's how I feel this week. I'm not gonna go into details, but it's been a
long ass week for both of us, and life is always not so rosy in the trucking world.
No, I swear to you, like I really don't know what happens to people's brains when they get behind a truck and start driving. Like you can take the most normal person out of society, put them in an 18-wheeler, and all of a sudden you find out all of this stuff about them that you really just don't care to know.
Yeah.
So I've had a super tough week. I had a driver get into an accident in Massachusetts. So there was some rain and snow involved, but yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, he had an accident. And then I have my one trucker that I've talked to you guys about last week that is in the scam with his wife in Africa. So it's been a long week, me trying to get all this stuff going and still try to be a good girlfriend and a good mom and a good real estate agent and all of these other things. And it's been a crazy week for me. Like literally, my mom used to say this to us. My mom does not drink at all, but she used to say, if I was a drinking woman, you guys would drive me to drinking. And I feel like if I was a drunk, this week would have driven me to being drunk. Like, I'm so glad that I can control my alcohol intake because I would have been drunk off my ass this entire week.
You tried, man. You tried.
I tried. I'm like calling Frank, on the way from the gym, bring me a bottle of Corbel. So yeah.
We bought more champagne this week than we did milk.
Yeah, I think
which is rare. We go through a lot of milk.
Yeah, I've had 2 bottles in 1 week, and I never like drink champagne like that unless I'm at the wineries. But I had 2 bottles of champagne at home this week. That's rare.
I understand.
Anyway, so
sometimes you just need it.
You do. Sometimes you just need it, which is why I'm wearing my mother trucker hat, because I felt like the mother of my truckers this week. Okay. But it's Friday.
Thank God.
It's so funny that me and you always get excited over Friday, but both of us work Saturdays and Sundays. Like we work 7 days a week, but we get so excited about Friday. Why?
Well, because one of us gets F off Fridays, while the other one's money making Friday, I guess. Something.
Well, you
keep on working Fridays.
So on Fridays, as you guys know, I have fuck off Fridays with my girlfriends. That's the one day of the week that I say I'm gonna put everything down afternoon, and I'm gonna just go have some me time with my girlfriends. And Frank is always invited, but he never comes. But he complains.
Because somebody's got to run shit.
Okay, I run shit 7 days a week except for 5 to 6 hours on Friday afternoon.
Okay, that you do. Good job, Ed.
Ow. Why do you keep smacking me on my... I don't think that's appropriate.